We live, yeah. People, deluded. I'm back again. Good afternoon, or depending on where you are in this earth, good morning, good afternoon, good morning. I know it's a bit crazy in relation to my schedules in terms of streams, and I definitely sympathize with a lot of you that are definitely abroad and whatnot. But I see there's a lot of you in the chat. Thank you very much for coming in. Like I said, big up yourselves. However, you're watching this. If you're watching it at work, if you're watching this while you eat breakfast, whatever you're doing, it's appreciated each and every time. And I'm seeing a lot of regulars. As Daniel has said, please make sure you smash the like button. It doesn't cost a thing. Can we get that up quicker than usual? Can we get that one going, man? Let's show some consistency in an attacking sense that Arsenal haven't shown this season. Let's attack that like button. Let's smash it. Let's kill a goal, man. Every like helps the ting and helps my brand get further and further in terms of YouTube because it gets higher in the algorithms. But big up the 20 people locked in anyways. And yeah, man, big up everybody. I'm seeing a lot of love, man. I'm seeing a lot of love. I'm seeing a lot of love. Shout out to all the Arsenal gooners and all the Arsenal fans in Connecticut, man. Big up America and whatnot. Everybody locked in. Well, you all know why I'm here, just when we thought we could just deal with yesterday's result, it was a smash and grab in the Europa League. Obviously, Partey played well, and we'll get onto him later, as did Gabriel. Aubameyang back to goal scoring ways. Mesut Ozil's agent has spoken, people, and I'm not going to go around the houses with Mesut Ozil. I'm tired of it. You're tired of it. Arsenal are tired of it. Mesut Ozil and everyone connected with that man must be tired of it. Are we any closer to finding a resolution? Yes and no, depending on how you look at it. Many people can turn around like myself and say, we found it. The club don't want to use him. He's not been registered. That's the end of it. Many of you will say at least for another year or a couple of months, he's still on the wage book. He's still under wages. And it definitely, the more we fail to excel as a team in an attacking sense and show some attacking quality and show either bring someone in that can do Ozil's job or fix that problem in terms of creativity with the players in-house, the question is always going to be there. Mesut Ozil, we could use him. And people are not wrong for necessarily suggesting you could use him. Just away from whether you think Ozil will cut it or not, we're lacking creativity. Surely at least for the last 20 minutes or so, you can bring in a creative man. I don't think you're wrong if you want to wipe your hands of Mesut Ozil and you condone what the club is doing purely from a sporting right. I don't knock you equally if you would want to bring him in. But we've been around the houses with Mesut Ozil, and I'm sure you all saw him on Twitter, tweeting and whatnot. You've also a couple of days ago the statement he made. Arteta spoken about it and said it's a sporting decision and whatnot. While I think there's plenty of reason to leave Mesut Ozil out from a sporting front, personally, I'm not going to buy that. I think that's a very PR sort of reply from Arteta. And Arteta, I mean, you could look at it like this. Remember when he said this, the slate is wiped clean, everybody's got another chance. We already knew Torreira and Guendouzi were leaving, their beds were made, but they weren't necessarily given a chance. Many people that say Ozil will bottle it and he won't turn up in games, this and that, they might be right. But, you're judging him on past laurels. You're not giving him another chance. Mustafi's given another chance, and he's done relatively well under Arteta within reason. You get it, people? So it shows no likes of turning up, man. It shows no likes of turning up. Thank you for the love. We're all seeing it in there, man. Chico's always in the streams, man. It's appreciated, man. Superhero, big up yourself as well. Bro, high tech. Come on, man. It's super annoying, bro. It's super annoying. I just want to talk about sporting fronts. I don't want to get onto this, man. Dean's juring me out. He says, hold tight, the gang inside. But he said, Deluded, you were actually on time. I'm proud of you. Allow me, man. I'm always on time. I'm on time. I was always on time to school. I know I was always on time to these streams. But yeah, big up Omar as well, man. Marcus Gotti, another one, man. I love when I see a lot of you guys. Next. This guy's been in here for a couple of hours. I appreciate that, man. Like you said, Partey was great. I can't disagree. Gabriel was, for me, head and shoulders above everybody. You've wrapped it up very well in what you've been saying, my guy. I shouldn't even do this stream. You've summed up everything connected to our club, people. Let me see what else you lot are saying. Some men are saying the sooner Ozil goes, the better. Ham is saying he reckons the board is trying to get him to leave. Yeah, Jonas is saying, how can Arteta, apologies, look down the camera? You see it. You lot all saying different things, man. There as well, Elliot, again, he thinks the timing is poor, Andreas is locked in, Andreas is worried about how it's going to affect the team, Dre King, big up my guy from JA. He was reading an article, and I guess I've had perfect timing because the notification gang has come true. Make sure you got your notification and all your bells on YouTube, people. But yeah, man, Rowan, I know the football is kind of dead, and that's my only criticism with Arteta personally. Like for me, I like his man management. I like how he's given confidence. I like how he's given the fans something. I believe in what he can do. My only criticism of Messi, oh man said Messi Ozil, of Mikel Arteta now is for how the team gets better is the attacking sense, because he was talking a lot about returning Arsenal back to them previous values, playing attacking football, and I've seen elements. But for me, I must admit, I would have thought we would have seen a bit more progress, more quicker. Granted, you know, the preseason's been a bit of a madness. There's been injuries, you know, there's a bag of things to worry about. So I'm kind of making excuses for Arteta, but just from looking at his job, I'm liking what you're doing. But from an attacking sense, you lot that watch me, I probably sound like a broken record. I'm always talking about the attacking sense, and he made his bed, you know, in a sense of he spoke about returning us to an attacking sense, how he wants to dominate games and all of this. And while I sympathize with Arteta and a lot of excuses we give him, like he ain't really trusting the team, he's got a handbrake because he don't trust us defensively, so actually we can't go forward. I get that, but the longer we go on, it's a bit of a madness, man. Ryan's actually said the football is not that bad. For me, Ryan, it's not that bad. Like, it's not stale, but it's a bit lifeless. Like, what we're doing is not bad, but it's the intensity. It's the intensity. But as Frederick has said, defense was the major priority, and that's why I'm onto him, my guy, because defense was the harder thing. He's done that now. Now I'm looking at the attacking. In the same way, we're not great defensively, and we didn't turn better overnight. We saw a little progress. I'm not really seeing the attacking sense. Like when he was there, with the moment Arteta came in, why I keep saying Arteta came in, you could see he's like, okay, cool. If he gets a Gabriel, if he gets a Partey, you know, if he gets certain things, he can do better because he's showing us what he's on defensively. I know he will do better with better footballers in an attacking sense, but right now the football isn't suggesting to me, you know, different players would make it better, because no players, to be fair, no individual player in an attacking sense, I would say, is excelling so far this season. I know certain people have, you know, Bukayo Saka, to be fair with him, Pepe ain't had much of a chance, but you know, I want to see a bit more from the players individually, and I want to see a bit more in an attacking sense, because Arteta was here under Wenger. You know what we need to be doing, these zip passes. I remember when we had creative man in abundance. We could create. Remember when creativity weren't a problem, Arsenal? Well, definitely in my lifetime, creativity was not a problem, and it's true. You can't take things for granted, man. Elliot has said it's a bit crabby. Apologies. Nexus said we didn't have a single shot on target in the first half yesterday. You probably have to go back to my streams, because I remember I spoke about that, but I can't verify. But we are, you know, quite shy in front of goal. We are. There's no way around it. And you know, under Emre, we were shy at shooting. So that's been a problem that's been there. And I remember when we was on that run under Emre, man used to say, on top of us relying on in the second half to turn around games, man used to say, okay, we're shooting less, but we're scoring more goals. We're more precise. These things are not necessarily sustainable in football, man. Musa has said the football is very negative. I don't think it's as negative as people are going on, but I sympathize with them. For me, it's more stale than it is negative. There's not really much life to it. It's like, man are passing the ball, but are they truly passing it through design? Like they've engineered this, like they've worked on it on the training ground, or they just pass it for the sake of it? For me, we still need too many periods where we have to get gassed and whatnot to want to play football. Because remember in the second half against Sheffield, we're popping it first time, 1-2 passes. El Nene's doing it, Xhaka's doing it, the front three's doing it, defense are doing all their thing, my guy. But it's not really banging. Like, it's not that from the start. So why is that? You know, you can do it. Why does Arteta have to tell you as players to do that? You know, what is Arteta not telling you as players to make you not do that? You get? So I'm not too sure. I think the players have to take responsibility, my dude. But same way, you know, it lies at the feet of Arteta. And that's a true point, man. You know, Emre was a bit of a madness. To be fair, Emre was very clear on wanting to play out from the back. And a lot of people, myself included, were like, what's all that about? It was negative to us. And that sets me up nicely. First and foremost, big up yourself, Adrian. You know, big up all my JA fans. Slap a like on the team. But like Chico said, you know, I mentioned playing out from the back, and he's brought up the perfect man. You know, Leno is central to it. And he said, what do you make of all the Leno criticism? I think this will be the first clip we will have in this people. So allow me to quickly add a marker, and then I'll get right to it, Chico. So let's go. In relation to Leno, I wouldn't say I'm defending him, but we have to keep some perspective. We have to remember with Leno, you know, he saved us a bag of times. He's a good shot stopper. I feel it, and I sympathize with Arsenal fans that say sometimes when Leno is saving stuff, he's saving it, but he could potentially punch it into areas that's not going to allow the attackers and so on to get a follow-up. You know, I sympathize with him. Every player has their faults. With all respect to Leno, clearly he's not like world class. I don't think he's going to ever touch that level. I do think he's a competent keeper. I do think there are more problems and active pressing matters in this team that we need to fix before we question Leno. I'm not saying Leno can play however and you can't give him constructive criticism, because yesterday that was a silly mistake. Now, them mistakes are going to happen. If it's not Leno, it's someone else. That happens when you play out from the back. But Leno is known for this. I think there was a stat doing the rounds that, you know, only Pickford and David De Gea have made more mistakes than Leno, you know. So Leno does have that issue. There will come a time where we have to look at Leno, you know. Martinez, we're going to see his true level this season because he's playing there for a year. But I think Leno is a better keeper than Martinez, but I would have kept Martinez, and Martinez was my first choice. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I was Team Martinez because he was here for years and not one man, myself included, was sitting here and screaming Martinez all the time. He got a chance. He showed us his level to a degree. What happened. For me, I prefer Martinez because he's more of my sort of keeper. I'm not really with this, how do you explain it, like this eccentric sort of new age keeper, bro. Like, big up Edison because he's like that, you know. These guys that are happy to get off the line, and I like players that know their capabilities. And I think Martinez, he plays out from the back, but he knows what he can and can't do. You know, he plays the ball quicker. He's just a calming influence for me with Martinez, with in relation to Leno. I do think fans are doing Leno dirty because there's been plenty of times we've got battered and he saved us. He is a decent keeper, but he's going to need to improve, man. I think, you know, he needs to face the music. It was a stupid mistake yesterday. My guy has to face the music. Did he not make a mistake again this season? I can't remember when it was, but did he not make a mistake? And then the game after that, he had a good game, and then you could see what it meant to him on social media. So these are problems, you know. My thing with Leno, I like that. I like his arrogance, but at times I think it can lay into complacency. And that's what I saw from him yesterday with that mistake, you know. It was lax, it was complacent, it was assuming you could do it. Sometimes just do the basic, you know. For me, Martinez is a bit more switched on. But this Martinez thing, for me, bro, it's a bit dead because he's not here at the moment. So I can talk about him until I'm blue in the face. It don't really matter, really and truly, man. What's this? DG, we have to be honest with the individual quality of the attackers. When the ball is played into Laka or Pepe, the ball doesn't stick and they are poor in tight areas. I get that. But then again, like I said, the players have to pull it out, my dude. But same way, the coaching. And to be fair, I don't think we play to Pepe's strengths. I'm not going to defend Lacazette based on yesterday because he was on some foolishness. I think that's a bit harsh. Lacazette's a Premier League striker. You could say our attack is overrated, but for me, whether it's overrated or not, my guy, which I don't necessarily agree, there is definitely more quality in there to definitely have more shots and have a better general output than what we're having. You know, we're moving like we're on a Newcastle team, with all due respect, because they've got Callum Wilson. You know, that is some good options there. You know, all of them can play for other Premier League teams. Whether they're going to be the main man or not is another thing, man. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Back to the whole keeper debate. You've asked me, would I rather Leno or Martinez? I stick with Leno. I think Leno's the better keeper, but you know, Martinez can shut that out. Really, I like Martinez would be my first choice, even though I believe in Leno because he's more calmer for me. He's more of a goalkeeper. He more knows his capabilities. He's more of an old school sort of keeper. Like I said, I don't really like these eccentric sort of keepers. And Leno, he makes big saves. He does have big games, but at times he does questionable stuff, my guy. And with that being said, there's only so far you can go in the thing, really. So I do think we need to allow Leno, like I said, constructive criticism for him based on yesterday. I still think he's a good keeper and he's good enough to help us get top four and be a top four side. But if all the areas as a fan that we'd like to address, whether you think we need to buy more defenders, midfielders, attackers, if every area was improved right now, then I'm saying we need to look at Leno, you know, really and truly. But there's more pressing issues. It's down to Leno to forgive himself for that mistake and just get on with it because it's happened now. We won. It's all good and dandy. It could have been what? It could have been better. Could have been better. It couldn't have happened and it shouldn't have happened. But it could have been a lot worse, people. It really could have. So it is what it is, man. Let me just clip that up. There we go. Make that highlight. And that's enough about Leno, man. I just think it's Rowan. I just think it's Leno's concentration, man. I think it's his concentration. DG is reading in between the lines, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. The channel is growing and the work ethic is producing results. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. And you just said a lot of things. I find myself saying a lot in the videos. Big up everyone locked in, man. Let's keep getting in the likes, man. We're going to get on to, I was here to speak about Mesut Ozil, but you lot are making me talk about bare other stuff, man. Love Dean, man. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's more, and don't get twisted. Martinez has his own question marks and whatnot, but you know what it is, man. I just mess with Martinez more, even though I believe Leno's the better keeper. Come on, Omar, man. Come on, big up all the moderators, man. And Chris has put it perfectly. Like I said, and that's the thing, you know. I think with the way football's gone, there's no middle ground. It's like some people, and I get it, maybe because I do YouTube, when I'm giving constructive criticism or just trying to call it as I see it as a fan, in my opinion, people will say you're hating and things. It's like because you know how fans are now, you're all positive, you can't get onto some man at all, no one can do any wrong, or somebody's poor bad. You can't ask a legit question. So it's like people think I'm hating on Arteta when I'm saying, and ironically, I'm actually saying I believe in him, but the attacking thing, coaching and taking shots, I'm looking at you. Like, I'm happy with the other stuff, but you need to pattern that up. What we're saying with Leno, as I just said, Leno's got to face the music. You know, he was ramping yesterday. He wasn't concentrating. Face the music. Sometimes he gets scapegoated, you know, but he has to face the music. And like you said, Chris, I fully agree with that. You know, he's not an Arsenal player anymore in relation to Martinez. It don't make sense, but I understand the frustration. And at the end of the day, you know, maybe it's Arteta's fault as to why Martinez left, because, you know, I'm not criticizing Arteta. He's allowed to make decisions. But from what I read and see, it was made abundantly clear Leno is my first choice. Even yesterday, I see one article saying Arteta saying I'm playing my first choice goalkeeper across all competitions. So Martinez is probably seeing it as, yo, I've been here for time. I got my chance. I showed what I'm on. If the manager is not saying a thing where, you know, me and Leno compete and the best man wins, and it's a thing where I can train as much as I want within reason, the manager's made his decision, Martinez is gone. You know, so Arteta might have to hold that one. But if Martinez, for whatever reason, said I want to bounce and do whatever I need to do, it is what it is. Now, we brought in another keeper, Ruderson. I don't know his level. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I was watching man week in, week out. You know, I've watched his previous team because they had decent young players, but it's one of them you didn't know Don was playing because you weren't watching for him. You know, our goalkeeping staff apparently mess with him heavy, so that's enough for me. But it's like what you said, the Martinez thing is dead, bro, Chris, because he's gone. But I can't blame fans, you know. It's a bit frustrating. It's a bit like when we progressed Iwobi, with all due respect, and we let Gnabry go. I could see the frustration. Man weren't trying to actually get at Iwobi, but it's like you let Gnabry kind of leave, and it is what it is, sort of thing. Good question, Rion. I just think, do you know what it is? There's just anyone that watches me, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Leno. You know, I used to say Kepa was better, and you know, we all have terrible shouts. I have to own that one. That was terrible. You know, I'm happy to be proved wrong in that. Kepa was way better in Spain. He's dead now. But there's something about Leno, man. I just feel Leno's got the right attitude. He does I can't forget what Leno's done since he's come here, even though he's done some questionable stuff, done some serious errors. You know, Leno's had some big performances. But it's like Martinez just makes me more safer. And at the end of the day, you know, it's all about being safe, isn't it? Like, he just makes me, I can't explain it. Like, my guys, like, I just feel safer with Martinez in my goal because Martinez is less eccentric and all of these sort of. Martinez is more of the old school sort of keeper. Like, you know, he's probably always been able to play with his feet, but you know, I think he's improved at that because, again, you know, I didn't see him too many times in an Arsenal shirt prior, but I'm sure people with Martinez, when he was playing, we weren't in the Europa League or whatever. We weren't even on loan. We weren't talking about his ball playing. It's like since he's, I guess, been under Emery, because again, Emery was the first manager to come in and say I want to play out from the back, and the other managers to follow. You know, Lombard, Arteta. I ain't missing nobody else out. He just feels like he's been here forever. You know, he's improved in that regards, in my opinion, but he's not here anymore, man. It's irrelevant, man. And Elliot's put it like that to a degree, you know. If he like I said, if Arteta said, "F it, you're not my guy," and we want to move him, we got peas, and maybe that peas is the reason we got Partey. Again, I don't talk about finances because I don't know about all that side of football. Well, it is what it is. Dylan has said, "Will Aubameyang come back to form this weekend?" I hope so, bro. Hope so. I hope so. We need that, man. Elliot again, like I said, didn't seem like a captain yesterday. I have to say, he loses his head too often. That's Steve. I think he looked like a captain. I just think he had a stinker. Like, he just had a stinker. Simple put, he just had a stinker. Like, some of his decision making. Normally, Lacazette's spot on with that. He was dead yesterday. Apologies. Moving on. Big up everyone. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Mate, you lot are not allowing me to bust out. With Beirut is talking about Eddie and Ketty. He looked a bit awkward in that role. To be fair, I think he does offer a bit more. I think he presses well, and he's definitely improved his overall game since he's been exposed to more first team football. But I do agree, man. He's kind of capped. If he's not scoring, he's not really doing much. And to be fair to Eddie and Ketty, he's not too prolific at first team level. Obviously, he's still developing and whatnot. But yeah, man. like Barry said, we probably had to sacrifice him for Partey, so it's a necessary evil. So we just have to suck it up, man. He's gone. Thank you very much, Tyson, man. I hope to keep giving you enjoyable content. And you know what? Ryan has said it perfectly. What happened with the Ozil situation? And let's read into it, man. I copied and pasted the article from ESPN. Sugut, forgive me, my Turkish fans, for mispronunciations. I don't mean no offense, but Mesut Ozil's agent has kind of hit out at Arteta and spoken about Arteta and offered an interview to ESPN. So I might as well read it for you guys, people. Sugut told ESPN, apologies, people. Sorry, but I'm thinking about the viewers that are not watching this live stream. So let's cut this clip up. So we're gonna add a marker and let's get going. So, like I was saying, Mesut Ozil's agent, Sugut, who is very outspoken, told ESPN, Arsenal fans deserve an honest explanation, not Arteta saying, I failed Ozil. You didn't fail Ozil. You failed to be fair, honest, and transparent and treat someone with respect who has a contract and who was loyal all the time. And first and foremost, I can't even carry on. That statement is a madness. The first thing I will say is obviously the first thing that you all know, that this is not good for the club. It's another unnecessary talking point. It's another drama. We've had Mesut Ozil and the club drama. We had the Instagram caption drama. Ozil, there's nothing wrong with tweeting on Twitter, but it follows kind of what's been going on, and it's more questions for Arteta. And now we have this. And again, that one there, it's a bit telling. It's sad for Arteta because people are talking about him not being honest and whatnot. And he's always reflected the values I wanted in my club, in that he's honest, he's transparent, he seems fair. But to a degree, like I said, we can't rule out anybody. We can't necessarily take sides, people, necessarily. That's why I'm trying to stay objective. I think both sides' hands are dirty and whatnot. With that, we have to remember Ozil's agent isn't going to talk without his say-so, and clearly he's trusted him to do this for a number of years. But, that statement of you failed to be fair, honest, and transparent is telling, because, Arteta, I think it's a board decision. But if we go based on what Arteta has said, he said it's a sporting decision. Previously, he said Ozil, Torreira, apologies, and Guendouzi would be given other opportunities. That didn't happen. Now, we know managers, tell white lies and do these little coy tricks, but again, you could say that was a bit of it there. I don't necessarily agree with this statement, but that was a bit of it there. Did Ozil get a chance? Because he's trained well. Again, he's not been banished from the team, so he must be a fairly decent member of the team. He's not messing up training sessions and being disrupted, whatever you think about him. But that one is telling, and to be fair, that one's a problem at Arteta, and that's where the board potentially are setting Arteta up to be the fall guy, because I believe it's a board decision. I think Arteta wants to use him, but if we go on it, and go on what Arteta said about it's my fault, I failed Ozil, and he's taking the bullet for the board, it is because this is falling at the feet of Arteta, and it's not necessarily true. But at the same time, as I've said, I think Mesut Ozil and Arteta would get on. I think he wants to use him, as reflected how he used him 10 odd times before COVID mashed up the thing for us. And he also, even with the China comments, he still played, but he got rubbed out. So that was a board decision for me. But at the same time, if I'm Arteta in this difficult role and we didn't bring in our or a plan B, and you can evidently see a lack of creativity in this team, and ultimately, whether we succeed, which I hope happens, or if we fail, there's question marks on Arteta potentially now. It's all coming to me, So if I want to use any player that I feel is going to make me stronger at my goal, the board can't tell me nothing. Like, I have to use it. So he must have sanctioned it. So there's two sides of it. So you could say he has failed to be fair, honest, and transparent, even though I don't necessarily agree. And again, I think the club have failed to treat him with respect, really. But as Ozil treated the club with respect, I'm not saying he has. I'm not saying he hasn't. Once again, people, I'm just trying to highlight that this is not good for anybody. It questions everybody. It makes everybody look booky and whatnot. It also went on to say, every single person outside knows he hasn't treated him fairly. He didn't give him a chance to show himself this season. He's still under contract. And that's true. He hasn't, whatever you say about Ozil, myself included, I don't feel we should build the team around Ozil, but he hasn't been given a chance this season. You give him Mustafi a chance. He hasn't been given one. But at the same time, I get that Ozil wants to be loyal. He wants to play. He wants to bow out the honourable way. He wants to see out his last year of the contract. But, if he wasn't going to necessarily get football, you can do other things. Loan spells can get patterned. Arsenal's still going to have to pay your fees. I'm pretty sure Arsenal would have been more than happy to pay half of the wages or pay a significant bit of the wages and whatnot and let you go on loan and maybe even get a loan fee from a club. Or say, you know what, Ozil, We'll still pay your wages. We'll get a loan fee for you. And again, that one would question: has there ever been legit interest from Ozil? On Ozil. Again, even with paying a penny on Ozil's wages, like literally a pound, his thing is very costly, and he's not playing to the ability or at the ability where, okay, you afford to overpay and then it is what it is sort of thing. He's not of the level where, as a player, every team in the world probably listen to bringing in Mesut Ozil because he's got the quality, but there's too many other factors of saying, no, I like that. And also, you got to remember, this agent also, rightly so, an agent would do, offered him all around Europe when he was talking about the contract. Obviously, that's the nature of the beast. And to be fair to Ozil, he did have legit interest from elsewhere. Now, whether he didn't want to go to these clubs because they know, you can't do some of the things you was doing at Arsenal or playing at some of the times you was playing at Arsenal for all your good form, and you stayed here because it's comfortable, is another thing. To be fair to Ozil, he did reject other teams and sign a contract. And I'm not too sure about the finances, but he was playing in the same way. He deserved a new deal. Obviously, Ozil is at the last year of his contract. It's a big contract on a weekly basis. And also, at 32 years of age, I'm not going to cap. I'm not giving up my however many millions in terms of loyalty bonus entitled to me at the end of the season. I'm keeping it trill, people. But, he said it there, he probably hasn't given him a fair chance, and he is still under contract. And he said the player should have an option to stay and fight for his place. Mesut hasn't been given that. Why would you put a player on the bench twice for 90 minutes against Brighton and Palace, in brackets, in June, if he wasn't fit or committed? And again, that begs the question of Mesut Ozil away from home. And I must admit, I did think that was gonna be Mesut Ozil's pattern. We was gonna use him in certain games, teams sit back, take him off after 60 minutes, or Arteta will throw him on in the last 20. I thought that was gonna be Mesut Ozil's role. But it's to be fair to him, maybe, again, maybe Arteta's looked at it and says, you know what, you haven't repaid my chances from last season. I just don't want to use you. Or in the in the training in the build up to the preseason, he just sat there and gone, you know what, you're not my cup of tea. I don't think you're the guy, And I think Arteta would have looked a bit better if he said that, if we obviously brought in a man, because it don't make sense when, you're playing Joe Willock there. With all due respect to Joe Willock, I'm not getting at him and whatnot. It just, even Ozil's worst of critics would concede there's no other creative option in the team. So it is what it is, people. And, like I said, nobody's right. And he went on to say, everyone says he's training well. Per Mertesacker said this publicly. He said, I spoke with at least 5 teammates who say he is training great. They say Mesut is one of their best players. And to be fair, all the young players I have ever spoke to in this Arsenal thing, not dropping a minute, but they have all said Mesut Ozil is fantastic in training. He's fantastic for the young players, and he's a great person to learn of. So again, and also his teammates, you can see Mesut Ozil, he's getting a lot of love from his teammates. He's still there in training. He's still making the noise. You still see Maitland-Niles and that talking out about him and whatnot. So he's still a good member. So it is a political decision. Apologies for a second, people. Devil's Delight, that's a bit of a dodgy name, be easy. But you've said keep up the great content, DG. Content. Apologies, I make mistakes as well. United fan who appreciates your opinions, G. It means a lot, man, and thank you for that tenor. It means a lot. But like I was saying, people, Mesut hasn't been given an opportunity, really and truly. And to be fair, I respect that Sayut himself hasn't dropped players' names into it. And there is clearly it's a political decision. I don't think it's China, because at the end of the day, he still played after China. But when you look back to the wages, not the wage cut in particular, people, the fact of there was 3 people who didn't take cuts. Mesut Ozil's name has been leaked. Why is that? Now, let's just say it's Mesut Ozil, Joe Willock, and Socrates, which I don't know. I'm just painting an example. Clearly, Socrates and Joe Willock, their names aren't going to sell as many papers, get as much engagement levels as putting Mesut Ozil. So I'm not saying because it should have been kept private. We shouldn't know what anybody's on, really and truly. But do you get it? But at the same time, why is that? Is that to damage Ozil's relations and brands with the fans? Because he has a fractured one. There's men that love him. There's men that want to see the back of him. And he's even been smart and played upon that and kind of used it with the way Mesut Ozil's been moving, even with his latest statements. So again, it's firmly a game of chess. And the club have won. It's the club set. If it was a game of tennis, it's the club set, because the club have, Ozil gave a good first round, first 15 or whatever it's called, first tie break in tennis. They gave a good little hit of it. And then the club said, you know what, I'm going on an ace thing. You're not in the Europa League or the Premier League squads. You could train, but you're not playing. And he's going to have to do a Roger Federer thing if he wants to play, because at least for 2.5 months, he's going to have to play 23s if he wants to get fitness. Maybe the club will facilitate, behind closed doors friendlies. He's going to have to work really hard off his own back in training, because he's going to lose a lot of match fitness. And at 32, forget Arsenal for a second, you ain't got too many years as a pro left. So it is sad. And for me, it's sad that anyone, whether I rate them or not, anyone that served this club and doesn't get a chance to put, obviously the fans aren't there, but bow out in front of the fans and say bye to the fans and just play a last game. I think it's sad, people, really and truly. And that goes for anybody at Arsenal, whether they've been here before or they're signing for the club. Really. Apparently, Arsenal declined to comment when pressed on this interview, by the way, people. But moving forward, he said, you have to understand the bigger picture. I can't say it, people, man. Is it Uyghur? The ethnic group of Muslims, I believe, that are sadly being, targeting China. I can't pronounce that thing. And I mean, no disrespect, but I just can't pronounce it. You said, he more or less said that situation created problems for the whole Premier League, not just for Arsenal. He expected to get more support from the club, and I don't feel the club supported him. Clearly the club are protecting commercial interests. Ozil, as a result of speaking out against China, that hurt Arsenal, and that also, I swear it got Ozil out of Pro Evo and whatnot, people. It is what it is. And it was sad how he got robbed out of the FA Cup as well, people. He did. So if he expected more support, he expected more support. But he said it's not talking about politics. It's about human rights, putting people in detention centers. Imagine a football player comes out and says this is inhumane. Is that politics or empathy? And that's true. I like to see Ozil, Marcus Rashford, and the rest of them use their voice. I know many people, especially a lot of my Turkish supporters, have said to me, Ozil can say all of this, but by the same token, his political friends, aren't exactly the most squeaky clean of people. So I'm not one to get into the comments and whatnot, but let's keep it football. But moving on, he started 0 games in the Premier League in his last season. This is what Sugat said of Arteta. He wasn't there in the last 6 months at all, busy doing his coaching badges and meeting coaches for his future. Mesut plays for one English club, and that's it, because he feels he can only play for that team. He's a gooner in the end. And obviously this whole sort of, no matter what, this Mighty Ducks thing, I'm always going to play for Arsenal. I'm going to keep playing, even if they say no, I'm still staying, to a degree. If it was any other player, it's commendable. We always talk about when a player wants to leave a club and want to bust out, but players also, when they want to stay and keep fighting, I have to respect it. And regardless of a man's wages, everybody wants to play, and real football fans understand that. But I think a bit of that is this whole, let me use the fans, let me try and act like a victim. Not saying he is a victim, and for want of better phrases, but it's a game of chess. And that's the game I think he's playing, and it's a bit of shots at Arteta about where, kind of questioning his commitment in his last season, because he was playing less of a role in his last season. He was more a squad player. Obviously, he had one eye to the future with doing his coaching, but that tells you his commitment isn't there. And, many people will look at Ozil and say, well, he does a lot of commercial stuff, and they're right with doing that, people. But I think this is kind of questioning Arteta's commitment in his last season, and equally, people, who has told him this? Ozil was there. So as Ozil told his agent to say, like, yo, this is what he was doing in his last day. It seems like Ozil and Arteta, at least for the cameras, they remain cordial. They look cool, is what it is. But I think it's above board, because I implore you all, if possible, go on Google and see whether you rate Ozil or not. See the way Arteta was speaking about him. He's always got a place. Any team needs it. The way he was speaking about Mesut, to this whole vague stuff now, whether you rate Ozil or not, it has to be something behind the scenes, people. It has to be. It really has to be. Big up Omar for whatever he did in relation to putting people on timeout. Any dumbness, sweep them up, man. Big up Omar, Daniel, and all the other moderators in the building. Moving forward, though, again, he continued to attack Arteta. He said he started 0 games in the Premier League in his last season. And he said, Mesut is not the player who is yesterday a toffee and today a gooner. Arteta didn't play at all in his final 2 years, but they still registered him because he was given a contract. Arsene Wenger put him on the field for the final 2 minutes of his last game just to give him a nice moment, even though he wasn't fit for months. Look at how Arteta was treated in his final 2 years and how Mesut is getting treated in his final year. Maybe Arsenal's goal was to wait until the end and Mesut would say, I want to leave. And maybe that was it, They were probably saying, yo, we want to move this guy off. We've tried. Let's actually back our chat and not register him, even if it might not be sensible or look sensible from a sporting perspective. I would love to know how the players feel, because regardless of, I don't think the club and, the players that are not involved in this, they shouldn't pick Ozil's side. We all know in real terms you pick your teammate, and they shouldn't necessarily pick the boards. The players know, but it's a difficult decision. And I wonder how the players feel, because as you lot know, Ozil has a lot of friends in those dressing rooms and he appears quite cool. You can see them all liking his Instagram stories and whatnot. So who knows? And he said, if Mesut would to have done that, the club would say he wants to go. And if they can't find him a club, they have an excuse and can say, we can't register you because you wanted to leave. But they knew for a long time that Mesut wanted to stay. He made it very clear. Maybe they wanted him to feel unwanted and unwelcome, but he wants to play for the badge. And maybe they wanted to question his real commitment to staying at Arsenal. And I think that's it there, people. And I just think it's a side where I'm not on the club side. I back my club. My club is bigger than any player, and the club will be here. So I just want what's best for the club fundamentally. You know, I want what's best for my manager. But I just feel looking at this, you know, you can't back the club. You can't back the boss. I mean, the owner. Arteta's not exactly clean, even though that's, if I had to pick someone's side, that's who I'm going with, the gaffer, you know. But I don't know where I stand on this. I don't think you can back anybody, really. Dean said he ain't lying. Deluded agent makes some good points. So yeah, man. And so I could see it. And he went on to say, finally, people, Mesut is 32 years old. He has a few more years in his career, but it is more about the way of treatment. Mesut is someone who fights for his rights. The contract was a big commitment for him. He could have left for another club like Alexis Sanchez. He could have left Arsenal and got a 30 million signing on fee somewhere as a free agent at the peak of his career, but he stayed loyal. Maybe the club will change their position in January and register him. You'll never know what will happen. And I think the loyalty was of mutual benefit. I do think, you know, Ozil stayed at his peak years. I think Ozil's been a good player for Arsenal, but for what it's worth, I think Ozil's failed Arsenal to a degree and the club have failed him. We didn't build him around it. We made him a scapegoat. But I feel for Ozil, if he looks back at his time in the Prem, he's been a better player than people give him credit for. He's had a terrific time, and I think he can look back at pride with Arsenal. But I think when met with that friction, he's always opted to be comfortable. He's never consistently tried to get that, you know, that upper level out of him and be consistently good. Equally, I don't think he's developed his game like in a way where he's been a quality player, but changed the way he played. Like when you see David Silva, equally, you know, he could have left in his peak, and to a degree, you could say he done us a favor. Him and Alexis wouldn't have been a great statement, but at the same time, it was beneficial. He had, you know, it's a fact, he had offers to go elsewhere and maybe earn more finances. But why did he stay at Arsenal? I understand that if he felt comfortable here, if he wanted to stay, if he felt that's home, they're all good. But when I look at Ozil and I look at, you know, as a manager under Arsene Wenger, Lombard never had time for Ozil's antics per se. Arteta, 1 minute he did, the next minute he didn't. To get it, people, you know. He probably elected to stay because he's like, I've got a comfortable thing here at Arsenal. You know, other clubs, the way you're playing, they're probably going to ask more questions. Like Jose Mourinho at Madrid, they had to ask him a bit more. Now, Ozil is a scapegoat. Let's not cut the crap. And I'm a big Mesut Ozil fan, but we need to move on from my man, and it needs to be done. It's just sad. Maybe the club will register him in January, but how much is he going to be off it, people? And if you remember, Suga has been very outspoken on just Arsenal in general. He said, you wouldn't expect a club with class to make 55 people redundant just after winning the FA Cup, or sacking a mascot after 27 years of service just before making a 45 million signing of Thomas Partey. And it doesn't help if people from the outside the club speak on their behalf. It unfortunately gives a very bad picture of the club, which we are not used to having a team like Arsenal. So again, does Arsenal reflect the club in terms of values that it once would? Probably taking a shot with that last line at pundits. He said, I would be very concerned for any club if someone repeatedly spoke on their behalf and clearly had a significant influence on and off the field. Mesut cannot speak now because of confidentiality, but one day he will, and we'll see what people think. And, you know, free up the realness. You owe this club nothing. When you keep it moving, free up the realness. Tell the fans what go on and what's happened, and then the perception will change. Because again, too many people are picking sides according to agenda. There's man that, you know, would wash Mesut Ozil's boxes, you know, and there's other man that, you know, think Ozil's the worst thing since sliced bread. There's no middle ground. You tell us what's what. There's more middle ground. The same goes with Arsene Wenger. You know, I'm almost finished his book. He ain't really freed up nothing really and truly. I knew he wasn't gonna do Arsenal dirty, and he was gonna remain classy to a degree, people. But that's what it is. And we also remember, you know, Arteta did talk about it's difficult to keep him out and the rest of it, but I'm not too sure how much that's going to wash. And obviously last month, Edu said it was a performance issue, and said those with longer term memories would point to a series of peripheral performances in big games, as well as his part-time role under Emre who later claimed him. No, apologies, people. That's got nothing to do with it. I think that's ESPN doing their own thing. But that's it in relation to Mesut Ozil. For me, it's annoying because it's another unnecessary story that doesn't need to be a thing, people. It's quite jarring, really. Like it's really not a thing, but it is what it is in that regards. On that note, though, I'm gonna, stop talking about Mesut Ozil and let's see what else. I hope it's done, my Mesut Ozil clip, Make it private, because if not, I'm gonna have to download this and do it a different way. But what minute are we in? We're 40 minutes in. Let's say 30 to 40. Anything, that clip will get clipped up and we'll go and find that. But what you lot got to say? I've been missing in the comments for a hot second, people. For me, we just need to come to an agreement with Mesut, which would be easier said than done, departing the club in January, or just registering a man and letting him fight for his spot, or telling us what's what, being fully transparent and telling us exactly what's happened on all sides, people. What are you lot saying for the Mesut Ozil thing, though? Anyways, people, I know a lot of you have said a lot. Kieran has said, I must admit you have the best football talk on YouTube. Your analysis of the game and Arsenal always on point. Massive praise. I just call it how I see it, my guy, man. It means a lot, and I hope to keep giving, living up to that for you, man. Yes, let's not give Ozil no more airtime. True, people. And again, the marketing thing is what annoys me the most, because if I'm Arsenal, don't get it twisted, if I was doing this to Mesut Ozil, I'd probably use his marketing brand and whatnot as well. But then, you're telling a man he's not involved, he's alienated, he's this, he's that, and he's a third. But same time, you're using him when the shirts are coming out, you're still using him for adverts. So what is it, you can't give or take. Make it clear that this man is not part of what you're trying to do in all capacity, airbrush a man out if you got to airbrush him out, man. Toby said, I love how you go from chatting road to chatting bare form. Well, I don't feel like chat anyway. This is my tongue, man. This is what you get when you grow up in North London. It's a bit mad still, but if my dialogue makes you laugh, then what can I say? Just make sure you're hitting that like button, people, man. Come on, people. Like he said, over 300 people watching, man. Come on, let's get the likes going. We've got another super chat. Dylan, it's not letting me bring it up to you, but you said from 200 subs to 202. I wish it was 200, but you said from 200 subs to 200 and I can't see it. What's going on? It's all blurry. Apologies. From 200 subs to 25k. Been here since the start, my guy. Thank you very much. Let me turn up the brightness. I was about to say I had 200k subs. I went clear. Love for that fiver, my guy, and also love for your support from day one. I hope to keep giving you content and reflecting just who I am and keep giving you reasons to keep messing with a guy. And you've run down the road, people. You remember the blue jacket in the back, and that jacket ain't even here no more. I should have framed that. You remember the jacket. You remember the what else? We have the jacket you can't see, but when I used to do it over there, the dead little plain wall. You've probably been here for the pigeons in central London. You've been here for the most, man. You've been here for the most. But enough comments. Loving everybody tuned in, man. It looks like I did a live at the right time, people. It looks like you lot had nothing better to do, because you lot don't normally show me this love, man. Lion Bar. It's true, bro. No disrespect to Senderos, and big up to him for being part of, when we got to the final in 06. And he also, I remember correctly, he had a good game against AC Milan. If I remember correctly, Cesc Fabregas scored from long range. I don't know, man. I think Fofana and Saliba were neck and neck. Some people say Saliba's better and Saliba's more ahead, equally Fofana. I have to Leicester know what they're doing. I guess Arsenal and Arteta know what they're doing. I don't understand it. I guess why that is we've probably looked at it. Saliba's going to go out on loan. He's not ready right now, and we've got more centre halves on the books. Right back, there's Maitland-Niles and there's Bellerin, but maybe we've got to keep Cedric Suarez. I can't truthfully answer that one, my guy. If he doesn't play significantly, he does have to go on loan in January. I agree in relation to Reece Nelson. He got like a minute or so yesterday. He can't complain, people, because, you've got to give the manager a reason to bring you on earlier or to start you. He must not be doing something. But there is a lot of competition and he does need to develop. And there's only so much you can do training. You need to go and play games. Tried to get Curtis on today, my guy, man. Big up Curtis. He's allowed to come true whenever, man. That's my guy. Light skin Cameron Jerome and them thing there. He chose the option to go on vacation when his teammates were playing. Well, to be fair, he was told he weren't there, but I can't defend him. It does look bad, and that's a good point, my dude. Good point. Alex has said, at least give him a chance. If he screws up, fair enough. That's it, man. You know, just give man a chance. If he does what a lot of us expect Mesut Ozil to do, you know, then it is what it is, people. You know, Hendrik has said, you know, trust me, we've got Ozil. Need to bring that all in, all in. We're trying to move people on still. We're trying to move people on, but Mesut needs to be moved on. Obviously, with his contract, it makes him a priority. But would you say he needs to go more than a couple of other names? Has to be said, man. Ahmad, big up my moderators in here, man. I don't. Again, I do think it is because of certain things, but it's difficult to say. And like his agent said, I need Ozil to talk up the thing, man. Marcus isn't here for it, you know. He's here for, you know, Arsenal as a whole. We're not here to support players necessarily beyond what we need to do in terms of support. So big up Marcus Scotty. He's been here from the start. Come on, man. Big up all my subscribers. It means a lot, man. On the road to 30K. Hopefully that could be done before the end of this season, folks. Hopefully, man. What else have we got, man? Guys on, yeah, he's on Big P's. I wish I was on that, man. And this is what I was saying, Adiyemi, is what some of my fans from Turkey, my Turkish supporters have been DMing me and saying, and I don't like to talk on stuff I don't know, but many people say, Erdogan, you know, you're saying all this stuff, Ozil, but you're chilling with everything. Now, I know no man's a saint, and we don't know man's level of familiarity with Erdogan, but again, you know, I believe in fairity, and I think, again, Ozil isn't necessarily right, the club isn't, based on how Arteta's spoken, not conducted himself, spoken, you know, it's a bit of a madness. Big up Leon, another regular in this thing. You know, Henrik is back in chance to get the chance going. You know, he's all for that. And, you know, this is why I like talking with you lot, man, because everybody sees it differently. And nobody, from all of what I've seen so far, nobody's mad aggressive with it. Simple. Like, Omar's got no time for it. Ozil needs to shut up. Elliot is saying the 5 teammates you think is his friends. You know, I think he's got more friends in the Arsenal dressing room than that. But good shout, Elliot. Big up skills. It means a lot. Another one always in the lives and whatnot. I don't know what stats these are, but I'd love to see them. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. He's a quality player, man. Quality player. It's a shame because we finally got a Partey. We got Gabriel and a better sort of outlook on defending, along with a better spine now. Partey's come in, you know, you finally got an Aubameyang, a Lacazette, a Willian, a Pepe, a Saka, an abundance of fast attacking players sort of thing, you know, with the exception of Lacazette, he's not that quick. You know, this is all made for Mesut. The problem is, you know, we've been down this road. That's why I can't understand at least trying it. If it don't bang, it don't bang. And, you know, if he, maybe Arteta said, you know, you're just not my man. He's like, you, Torreira, Guendouzi, Socrates, bun you, man, innit? Like, if he's been on that, then fair play. But surely he's got something to help us with, at least for the last 2.5 months. But it is what it is. This is also as well, man. I think this to a degree as well. They're both just trying to make each other look dirty, the club and Mesut. It's just a tit for tat thing. As my man said, real you, it's getting a bit petty. It's getting personal. And it got beyond personal a long time ago, in my opinion, bro. There's no play. But it's, you know, Ahmed's a United fan, so he's not necessarily, unless you're a big fan of Ozil, he's not necessarily conflicted in this debate. So I'm keen to see the neutral supporters' opinions. It's quite creepy. That's all football is. Players don't owe clubs nothing. Clubs don't owe players nothing. It's always a bit of mutual benefit. That's why, for me, I'm not gonna allow. You know, for Arsenal, I'd love to be Arsenal legend, one club man and stuff. But you know, if I got to I've always said I never want to be that guy who is. If I was a footballer who's 35, he's a club legend. You know, he's getting a new contract. He's not as vital as he used to be. It's almost become a daycare thing. You almost feel sorry for man. You know. And that's true. The club owe you nothing. When you're not doing the business, you're not going to play. I've always said I would want to get out of a club when I'm in my prime. The club owes no one nothing. Ozil wanted to stay. The club gave him that contract. It is what it is. He could have went to these clubs he was allegedly linked with and done other things. If he wanted to stay, it is what it is. But it was his prerogative. Just like how now he ain't really doing the business, regardless of what you got to say. You know, so the club can rub him out. I do think it does look like it does make us fall away from this whole classy thing we've spoken about, man. And like Bell said, you know, it's funny. It's funny. Carney said, in my opinion, the way we play is not sustainable. Still a bit early on a William verdict. I think William's been brought in to be another defender, in my opinion, man. Like in a sense of I thought he was going to complement the attacking sort in some way, but I think he's been brought in because he gives us a bit more protection down that right hand side in games, and that's one thing I've seen from him. Bit early on the William verdict, but I think we've just seen what William was showing in the Chelsea shirt. Really, we can't really be confused. Random guys said DG. Hopefully you get to 100k. Maybe that's a big task, people, but we try, man. We try, man. We try. We keep grinding. Been doing this for about 4 years, so hopefully one day, man. Well, it is what it is. Bo Kang ain't got time for it. He said he can't wait till he leaves. I don't think whether Ozil stays or leaves is going to alter anything. What's the deal with AFTV? I don't know, Freddie. AFTV can't big up Robbie. Just ain't trying to let the man on the show, man. Feels like Giggs when he was trying to blow out Peckham and they're not playing him on the radio and that. But big up Robbie, man. Be nice to go back, but it is what it is, man. What? O'Leary, I hear you. Calm down a bit, my tug. Calm down. Let's calm it down. Making a story out of it. Literally, okay. I didn't know I told ESPN to speak about it. I'm literally just talking about it. Have you ever heard the saying, don't shoot the messenger? You're moving a bit mad, my guy, man. Furthermore, moving on. Calm down, bro. This is what I'm talking about. Why is there so much aggression? It's a Friday, bro. Relax. Everyone else is calm here. We need a Kroenke out chant. Whether that will get him out's another thing, my guy. But we need him gone. Boy, Marcus, you always tell it how it is and can't really disagree with anything you said, man. I'm there, Christopher. I'm there, man. Don't worry. You can reverse back, man. We're only 51 minutes in, man. You can reverse back, bro. This is an hour-long show. You can do your thing, man. That as well, fair play. If they paid for his image rights, I'm not too sure. I think Ozil controls his own image rights. Obviously they have the right to use him as their player, but it's a bit of a political one. Ali saying Ozil acting more like Arsenal than the club itself. He has all the values and principles, even philosophy, which is extinct in the club. Where are the values of Wenger told us to protect? Again, I can't disagree, man. A lot of you are saying a lot of different stuff, and I see where you lot are going, man. How much do I upload in a day? Depends how I'm feeling, my dude, man. There's no rules, as Specs Gonzalez says. Dav, calm down, my guy. It's a Friday. Get a Ray and F. But I feel you. I'm tired of this talking about it as well. Not going to mind because it's allowed me to speak to 500 odd of you, 400 odd of you on a Friday. But would be nice to speak to you lot in more nicer circumstances. We should contextualize his stats. And there's also been games where he hasn't scored or assist or played quite well. But like Bo Kang said, you can manipulate stats. But this is very telling. 40 games, 4 assists. And is that 8 goals or 8? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. But either way, not exactly the biggest of returns. Mr. Miyagi, we need major investment. Hopefully it happens. In the same vein we picked up with Gabriel and Partey. Hopefully we can keep doing that. And this is true. We still need that. We don't forget Ozil. We still need a thingy. We need a creative man. And away from a creative man, as a team, we need to be more creative, because that next creative man that's going to come in, we're going to be looking at him as the Messiah to solve everything. Obviously, I want him to break the lines and make the difference, but he can't do it in isolation. It's like what we used to do with thinking a new defender was going to come in. Mustafi came in. He showed he wasn't good enough, but again, the system was Kalam. Yeah, we were undefeated under him for a bit. There's a better system now. Gabriel is showing his quality as well, so the two are tying in together. But all the other 10 players are contributing better defensively, including Gabriel. It's a team game. One man ain't going to change the thing. Players make the difference. Teams win titles. Simple. Where are we on this live? Well, we're done for the Ozil thing, brother. But you can scroll back. I'm not too sure. Let's not talk about the China business because you don't know all of that sort of business. But I feel you anyways. Haji boy ain't got time for it. Ain't got time for it at all. This kills me. I don't believe in life after death, but I believe in life after Rose. Hey, 30 comment, man. 30 comment. And regardless, that's true. Thought soon coming. Underwhelming, not underwhelming from Wenger, you know, because you lot know me as a football man and football at its purest level. I'm enticed by this book. I'm in love with by this book. As an Arsenal fan, desperately clinging on for clues and stuff. Been disappointed. Wenger was firmly what he was been doing in, you know, not rubbing out anybody, keeping it classy as he could, and all of these things, people. Differently, thoughts on the Leicester game. You know, bit of a, you know, the previews to come out soon. I'm gonna bring out all of that stuff when we get off this live show, people. There is the content to come, Q&A, the rest of it. But in relation to the Leicester game, and tactical reviews, people, of yesterday. But in relation to the Leicester game, just want to get back to winning ways. We lost to City. We can't feel sorry for ourselves, my guy. And Joe, you know, you've seen the fixture list yourself. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We got a tough game against Leicester, another top 6 member. You know, the last 2 tests we've had this season against Liverpool and City, we have failed them. Simply put, we need to show what we can do against Leicester, a team that's qualified for the champs and Premier League in more recent history than us. You know, they've been on a bit of a losing run in the Premier League since beating City. You know, they've lost to West Ham and I believe they lost to Villa. You know, how many times have you played against a team where they'll be in bad form, they change it against Arsenal, they look to be the result where everything changes for them? We need to avoid that sort of thing. And also, you know, we just need to get back to winning ways. It doesn't get easier for us. We've got United and all of that soon. So we need to do what we need to do. Leicester's a tough outfit. You know, they can play 3 at the back. They can play 4-1-4-1. Harvey Barnes is a nuisance from the flank. If Jamie Vardy is fit, you know what he's on. You know what he's on. Once again, you know what Vardy's on. Worst kept secret in their team. They've got talent like Pret and Telemans. We know they're an well-engined unit. We know they can hit us on the counter. Any defender that is not trying to play against Vardy or Leicester, tell Arteta, and you can need to stay at home. Anybody that's not in for a day, you know, his hamstrings are going to be tight after the game, needs to leave it out. Leicester don't typically travel well to our place, my guy. They don't typically travel well statistically to the Emirates or just playing us in general, but rules are there to be broken. If I'm Leicester and I'm in bad form and statistics are moving mad and we've been losing, I want to get back going. You know, they got a lot of English players in their team as well. You got Barnes, you got Maddison, you got people that want to be in the England team, you know, so you got to watch out for that. They won 3-0 in the week. So both teams won in Europa. So we're going to see what's going to happen. So it's going to be an interesting game, really interesting game. I just hope we learn the lessons of last year when we were walking away with a victory and we failed to mark Jamie Vardy adequately and we were made to pay for it. So that's my thoughts, man. Come on, people. Can we get that ups, man? Come on. Come on, people. Can we get the likes up? Before I miss it out, though, Leon, thank you very much for that $5, my dude. You have said we are getting lost in Ozil, feel distracted while we should all be United fans to stop the death in the shape of the European Super League. I think we can talk and fight both of them simultaneously, my guy, but I feel what you mean in that there's more important pressing matters globally in football and in life. So I feel you, man. This Ozil thing is dead. Please make sure you smash the like buttons, as said, people. Weed Boss probably got the Cali. It said, big up DG, my brother, lover, manage. Thank you very much for that salute, my guy. It means a lot, man. Dapo, I hope so, my guy. I hope so. I hope we win, man. We need to get back to winning ways. And for me, it's all about the tests. Now, fair enough. Beating Leicester doesn't sound quite as great, with all due respect, as defeating Liverpool City. But it's a next test. It's a next test, you know. It's a third chance of trying to beat a top 6 rival. I want us to get out of that with something. Personally, we need to get back to winning ways. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. Hopefully Partey plays, because as you saw, Partey was solid in the last game. And on the topic of Partey, people, someone I actually wanted to speak about, you know, we can't get too gassed off the Partey thing, because listen, first start, bossed it, you know, passing. Second half, I felt he was in midfield by himself, you know, not that Elneny played poorly, but Elneny was going more forward. He locked it down. You know, sadly, he was given a yellow card that I didn't think he deserved. He was quality. And, you know, what we shouldn't look at Partey to do is the expansive passing. You know, I think he gave it away a couple times unnecessarily, but 9 times out of 10, he was solid with his passing, his positional sense, his temperament was good, and he's plugged the hole that we've needed for time in this team. That's why I'm personally gassed about the signing of Partey. And you saw Gabriel as well. Him and Gabriel equally looked solid, people. 1 second on a quick thing. Just want to keep up this Partey chat. Yeah, so like I was saying, with Partey and Gabriel, you know, Partey had a solid performance yesterday. It's his first game. He has to play against Leicester for me, but I'm happy that him and Gabriel played well, you know. Partey is someone that's very much here for the present / medium term, you know, 20, in fact, you could say long term. He's 27 years of age, you know, he's got 5 solid years at least. Gabriel's 22. You know, I think what the big boys are going to be circling for him if he keeps developing. But that's the spine of the squad. Signed for what, 70 odd million. You know, we're fighting a losing battle because for every Gabriel, we've missed out on how many centre halves. For every Partey, we missed out on how many man. Do you get it? For every Tierney at left back, who wasn't expensive as well, equally a solid signing. We've missed out on bare man. So we need to keep going. But I hope Partey continues as he started, and definitely Gabriel. You know, Gabriel's one player of the month. You know, he's one player of the month. You know, he's signed for 4 or 5 years. What he does in a 1 month period doesn't mean he's going to be a success. But hopefully he carries on where he's picked off, because he's playing well every game. Partey's brought that still. And, you know, it's a big part of this team was fixing up the spine. And looking at Partey's full debut against Rapid Vienna, hopefully he starts at the carpet against Leicester. He made the most passes in the opposition half with 50, made the most tackles with 5, the most aerials won with 4, most ball recoveries. If I quickly scroll to Google, people, because I remember Sakwa Sports had some good thingies for us, had some good infographics that Arsenal fans would love. They had a nice one in relation to Gabriel. Let me keep scrolling and quickly find that for you lot, people. Apologies. Let me quickly find that, man. I don't want to get out of here without showing you that was a good little... Shout out to Aubameyang for coming on in the 61st minute and bagging in the 74th, but that's not what I'm looking for. We didn't produce a single shot since the 30th minute at a point, people. We produced our first shot since the 30th minute in the 61st. Obviously, with that probably marked Aubameyang and Bellerin coming on. We shouldn't have done that. Apparently, Arsenal have conceded from an individual error for the first time across all competitions this season. So Leno's only technically made one mistake leading to goal this season, although I do remember a few games ago it was a bit booky, and I remember it meant a lot to him against Liverpool. So when he done a madness. Also, carrying on with the Partey slander, people. I mean, man said slander propaganda. 100% aerials won in the first half, 100% tackle success rate. Where is this thing, people? Where is it? They're doing me dirty. I spoke about it in my last thing. Where is it? I'm not letting. You lot can't leave without me showing you lot this to people, man. I can't. They're doing it dirty. Here it is. Finally, people. You won't be able to see it, but Partey and Gabriel were class above every other player on the pitch last night. I'd love to know which player you lot thought was the best player on the night, because I think it was Gabriel, but shout out to Partey. El Nene was also good. Shout out to Bellerin and Aubameyang off the bench. Saka was decent as well, although for me, he looked a bit tired, man. Yeah, so moving forward, Partey, you know, he had the second most touches in the game with 102, second most passes with 92. Gabriel had the most, by the way. Pass accuracy of 90%, dual win rate of 77%, most duels 1 of 10, most aerial duels 1 with 4, most tackles made with 5, most possession gain, which is 8. He made the most final third passes with 23, most final third entries with 13. Not sure on what the last one in particular means, but you know, it's part of propaganda. People would take that. In relation to Gabriel, he had the most touches, obviously playing out from the back, being a centre half, being comfortable on the ball. He's always going to do that. 119 most passes attempted with 100, 88% pass accuracy. Obviously, you know, Partey's playing a bit more safer than Gabriel, or that could mean, you know, Gabriel could improve in that regards. His dual win rate was 71%. He won 10 duels, which were the most duels won. Most aerial duels won, which were 4. You know, he made the most foul. He won the most fouls with 6. He gained possession the most times with 8. Most Arsenal clearances with 5. Most interceptions with 4. And I'm pretty sure some of them stats, they said Partey was the most at. But either way, some propaganda, some decent propaganda that we'll take and we'll move with. But, you know, again, all that matters now is how Gabriel and Partey play tomorrow. But, you know, it's you start as you mean to go, man. It means a lot, you know, a lot of different opinions, man. Blacklist. Oh, sorry. Even I didn't know. People, hey, check out the descriptions. It's the last day to vote for me for the Football Blacklist Awards. It takes 2 seconds of your time to vote. Please hit up my description and vote. It's one day. Big up Marcus, man. I was completely baff for a sec what he was talking about, and that shows where my head is at. I'm moving like a fullback that ain't really woke up, people. Ali's not quite angry, you know. He said we've been hijacked, the club's values and whatnot. He's not happy. You know, he said Wenger's blind faith in bang average players is what killed the club. You know, I love Wenger, so I'm going to have to mute that one. You know, getting some DG praise here. Thank you very much for that. You know, I can't disagree with what you're saying. There's talk for El Nene to start. Big up El Nene. He's taking the chances he's gotten this season. But for me, I would like to go with Partey and Ceballos. I think it will be Xhaka and Partey, or very well much could be Xhaka and Ceballos, and Partey will have to wait to make his full debut. But for me personally, I think Partey is ready. So that is either I would like to see. First choice would be El Nene. I mean, not El Nene, would be Ceballos and obviously Partey. And then I guess what I think will happen will be Xhaka and Partey. Although both midfielders, they've done all they can to justify starting against Leicester. And to be fair, Onene's been thrown into bigger games than Leicester, with all due respect, so far this season. So it's a good bit of competition with the midfielders. We don't actually know who is going to start in midfield. I think if you had to make an educated guess for who is probably going to be a regular in midfield at this moment in time, disregarding Partey's ability or El Nene's faith or new faith in El Nene, is Xhaka. You probably bet your life and bet your life savings that Xhaka is going to play significantly. But there's some good problems, and wherever there's good problems, that means it's tough decisions for Mikel Arteta, which I can't complain with. So it is what it is in that regards. Let me put this on private. That I believe this is Partey / Gab Spine. So yeah, we're gonna have to see. Is there any more footballing things going on today, people? I guess so. Love for the donation, regardless, though, man. I just said that, Obalaka. That's what I would like to see, ideally, man. Chris, your comment's gone. In fact, I just found it again. 4 at the back, play all 3 of Xhaka, Partey, Ceballos. Don't mind seeing that. Would like to for me, if we go back to a back 4, maybe it makes us play a bit more attacking football. Would love to see that, man. Would love to see that. Big up Hamid. Funny picture of Bukayo Saka there. Hopefully that becomes a reality. I believe somebody has just said, somebody's alerted me. Apparently Ceballos isn't fit for Leicester. Apologies. So then I think it'll be Xhaka and Partey if he has said that. And unfortunately, I did my preview without knowing that. So let me actually type that in. Has he given his press conference, people? Let me see what he's saying. Oh, he has. Oh, the full thing isn't out yet, is it? We might as well speak about this quickly. One sec. You know me, I always think I like to big up all the people locked in and make sure you're hitting the like button, by the way. But me, I always like to cater to the people not watching the live stream at the moment. So like somebody said, Ceballos might be missing, although I can't see anything about Ceballos right now in relation to Danny and whatnot. I'm just going to go on what I've seen so far by Mikel Arteta and what he said in relation to Leicester, Partey and more. In relation to the win over Rapid Vienna, he said, I'm really happy with the result because to go away in Europe and to win is never easy. We had a real good test last night as well, going down a goal, coming back into the game and managing to win it. It was a good sign of character of the team and how they pushed and kept trying and believing we could get a result. Obviously, there were things in the performance that we have to improve, but happy to start with a win. Can't add any more onto that, what Arteta said. He's asked on whether he's able to focus on the positives. He said, yes, because I saw things within the cohesion and how much we get about each other that I really like. One of the examples is the reaction the team had with Baird after his decision for the Rapid goal. I asked them to do that, to take those risks, to play their way we want to play. And sometimes it's going to happen, which is true. Playing out from the back, those big things are always going to happen. But the reaction of the team with him when we scored the first and second goals was really good. That comes from them and the culture we are trying to create. On Thomas Partey, he said, I was really impressed because he looked really confident. He grabbed the game in the most difficult period. He took responsibility. He was really comfortable on the ball. He made a lot of right decisions. He was strong in the challenges in every transitional moment. I was impressed. And facts. And to be fair, he's been in some more dangerous circumstances than this, playing for Atletico Madrid, more hostile environments and whatnot. He's going to be up for these games. This is the thing that he relishes. And, I could talk about Partey's performance. I can talk about his ability. I can talk about his technical and physical qualities. The thing I love about him is the mentality. Like Arteta said, in different words, but he didn't give a crap. He didn't care. The mentality is there. And the mentality is what we need in difficult moments. How do you stand? Because Partey is going to have bad games. He is going to play poorly. Equally, he's going to play well. The man's human. It's how you react. And I think the way he moves, he's going to be well. And like I've said, there are a lot of players in this Arsenal team that I like and I'm very fond of. But there's only 5-6 man at a push I genuinely believe in. Like, oh, if I was the Arsenal manager, I believe you're gonna, all throughout the whole season, you're gonna show me a serious level of performance. It would be Bukayo Saka and the injured Martinelli. Aubameyang's not scoring too much, but I would say Aubameyang personally. I would throw Partey into that, even though it's very early to say that. And I'd probably also say Kieran Tierney. Now, I'm a big fan of Maitland-Niles, of David Luiz, how he plays when he's on it. Rob Holding, Maitland-Niles, if I haven't said that. Reece Nelson, Lacazette, Pepe. I don't mind Willian, but these are hot and cold. I don't know what I'm going to get game to game. You go through moments of good form and bad form. Do you get? So I'm not sure. When further pressed, Arteta said when asked on the effect he can have on the rest of the team in relation to Partey, he said it's about the cohesion in the team and the fluidity we play with and without the ball. What we want, finding some I can't say that word, man, but yeah, man, he thought basically, he's talking about a speciality player and how he was missing that's missing in his team, and how we found that, he does balance the team. We've got cohesion now. And he said to get the pieces in the right places where everybody's comfortable doing their job that we get them to do, I think we are much more balanced. The same with Gabriel, the performance he had last night as well, what he brings to the team. We'll see a team that is closer on what we're trying to do. And he's fully facts. When further pressed on Gabriel's impressive start, he said, we saw qualities in him. That's exactly what we wanted. But then you move him from France to here at an early age without talking the language to adapt to a new way of playing as well. He has done it very quickly and is showing great mentality as well, because we threw him in against Fulham after 3 or 4 training sessions, and you could see the performance he had there. When asked on Leicester's start to the season, which has been mixed, since they've actually beat City, they ain't won in the league, which hopefully that continues on Saturday. He said, well, they're a really difficult team. I think Brendan and his team have done a great job. They've dramatically changed the philosophy and the way of playing since they arrived. And I think they had an incredible season last season. This season's ups and downs, like almost every team in the Premier League, and some incredible results. Like when they played City, they can adapt and play different ways. And sometimes they are really dominant. Sometimes they can defend with a low block. But overall, they're a really good team. So what do I hear? If they're going to be dominant, I'm looking at our midfield, and Partey needs to play. But if they're playing with a low block, Arteta, how are we breaking that down? Because we've struggled to break that down all season. He was asked on whether he can take anything from the Cat Yarabel Cup victory over Leicester. He said, I think it was different players and probably different formations as well in a different competition. I think we'll both look at those and try to get something out of it, but I think it will be a different game. When asked on the 1-1 draw after lockdown, in which we threw the game away after Vardy, we should have killed it. He said, I think we played really, really well, and we should have been 3 or 4-0 up in the first half, which could be the case of games this season as well. In the second half, when we had total control of the game as well, we got Eddie Nketiah sent off, which you all saw, and we played with 10 men and ended up conceding really late. But again, it was a really intense game. When asked on team news, he said, we have to assess a few players today. We have some knocks and niggles from last night, which is normal, and after a long flight as well. Let's see how everybody is today. When asked on whether it is too early to comment on Dani Ceballos and Willian, he said, if nobody knew, Willian apparently got a knock as well. I think so. They haven't trained with us yet, so we'll have to see how they react in the next couple of days. So, we'll probably train tomorrow, maybe in the morning on Sunday. And if they're moving a bit shaky, they'll obviously be left out of the team. He was then asked on the return of some long-term injuries and the welcoming of selection headaches. He said, yes, we have a big squad. I think most of the teams do have this season, because I think that we have to bear in mind with the coronavirus situation that things can change really quickly, and you have to be able to have some numbers to compete in different competitions. With the Premier League rules allowing you just to take 18 players, it is a headache, and it hurts all the time to leave 4 players out the squad as well. So we have to manage that as good as we can. So I don't think his full transcript has come out, people, but we'll have to see what happens, man, in relation to that. In fact, he was asked on Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. He said, I think it would. Well, no, sorry, we've seen that one. He's asked on changing the philosophy. No, I thought that was, I thought, I don't know why Arsenal.com do this, man. They bring out little sound bites of the interview, and then they don't bring out the full transcript for hours, man. Like, it's confusing, because the way the website is, it scrolls down into the next article as well. Bit unnecessary, but that's what Arteta's had to say anyways, folks, for those that cared, so we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Gabriel, Arteta. Let's make that unlisted so you lot can't see it and it can only be seen by me. But what else we got, man? We're gonna have to get out here soon. Let me see what you lot are saying in the comments. Come on, my guy. Make sure you get that pump, man. Make sure you hit the chest press or the leg. Don't skip leg day if you're not doing legs. I think it was to get a reaction. I can see why he gets that, but I would say, yeah, I think Suarez is slightly better. I think Bellerin's hot and cold, man. I think if Bellerin continues in the same vein that he did in the second half against Sheffield United, and obviously when he came off the bench, then why not? But I think Cedric tries to get forward a bit more early on. I think his thing just lacks quality, really. Good point, Ali. Scroll further down. Yeah, Villa play Leeds tonight. Come on, Hamid. Hopefully we can get 300 likes. Big up people in Denver, man. Put him on timeout. Thank you very much, and thank you very much to anyone else who voted as well, man. Sam, you know, it's a long season. It remains to be seen, but you get it. You're right. You know, El Nene's been given a show of faith by Arteta when called upon, you know, whether it's been in the Europa League or the league or whatever, he stood up to be counted, and that's all you want, you know. We can all have our opinions on El Nene, whether we think he's good or not. All that matters is Arteta's opinion, and you know, the more you repay Arteta's faith, the more you'll play. Simply put, Revel isn't happy. Talk. Why are you quiet? Allow me, man. Like, allow me, man. Just for that, I'm gonna get a juice. Who are you talking to? I'm the captain here. Do you lot think this is? I'm good, footy Chaz, man. Nice to see you here, man. Not too sure about Lacazette. Looks a shadow of his former self because he's been in decent form, but I do think Lacazette might just be on the natural decline. Come on, see, man. Let's leave the man's personal life out of that, man. Come on, mate. Come on. You think David Beckham wasn't cheating? Let me keep it simple on that. Bro, man, people demanding our talk, you know. Ali, chill, man. All right, oh. It looks like an eye, man. Calm down, bro. My bad for getting your name wrong, man. Links in the description, Sam, man. It takes 2 seconds, man. I really appreciate it if you do that, man. It means a lot. AJ said, thoughts on Aziz. Do you think he'll get more game time in cup competitions? I think maybe as we confirm advancing to the next stage of the Europa League, we might see the young G's involved. I would like to see him. You know, I don't think he's ready for consistent first-team football. I still think he's very naive with possession. I think sometimes he needs to keep it simple. Sometimes he actually needs to play that difficult pass. I think he's got a lot to improve on defensively. He can switch off, but the quality is there. He's a good passer. He's everything you look for in an Arsenal player. I do think he'd get his chance. I'd love to see him, Balogun, Ben Cottrell, all involved in the Europa League at some point. Whether they get that opportunity is down to them to keep working and Arteta. I don't think it's a disrespect. Obviously, it's a bit of a vile as a player. You know, you're not even going to get a slide in. But at the same time, Arteta, and this could be a little sound clip as well, people. So let's hit that. But as I was saying, yeah, it's not really a disrespect, Hamid. Of course, any player, you're going to feel violated. You're going to feel upset. You only got 15 seconds, you know. But at the same time, it's a squad game. You need to get out your feelings. Reece Nelson should feel hard done by. He hasn't got too much game time. A game you probably thought you'd start. You didn't play too tough. But you've got to remove your opinion. If I'm Reece Nelson and I say I'm upset that I've played 15 minutes, played 15 seconds or a minimal amount of time, you know, be aggrieved. Be hurt about that. But you're thinking about you're not thinking about the team. That was for the team. That was to waste time so we get off the sub, so we can get out of this where we snatched and grabbed it and walked away. And for Reece Nelson, he's got to ask himself, why is he not playing? You know, why is it your manager, when we was chasing the game, didn't throw you on? He put on Bellerin. You know, right back, fair enough. But why did he feel these two would be better attacking options than you, who is a winger? You know, why didn't he think you should start? Why when we played Man City, were you not involved in the match day? you know, and that goes for all these young players. They've got to make sure they train so Arteta has no opportunity but to bring them into the team, like what Saka is doing. Now, there's two sides of that. Reiss Nelson is developing and he needs chances and whatnot. Is he going to get them is another case. I would have loved him to stay and he'd play under me, and I think he'll get his opportunities. But there's also a case to be said to go out on loan, and it'll be interesting to see these last 2 months, 2.5 months in relation to Jan. Let's not draw any conclusions, because you remember, I'm sure he started against Chelsea. I could be wrong. I'm sure he started against Liverpool at home. He has been thrown on in tough situations, so it's just down to him to earn that spot. It's as simple as that. He just needs to earn that spot. I don't think it's a vial, you know, it's a squad game. We ain't really got time to cater to Reiss Nelson. Beyond developing and safeguarding him in the rest way, it's not the Reiss Nelson show, and it's not any youngster show, really. You know, it's the same way when I'm vexed that Martinelli hasn't started people when he was fit. Because remember, there was a time we're looking at people like, why ain't Martinelli playing? But it's a squad game. We have to get out our feelings, really. What did we talk about there? Reiss Nelson not getting real minutes. Slap that one there. That one's calm. We're gone. Who is our best front three? And that's a good question, because I don't know. I think at the moment it's probably, I would go with Lacazette regardless of the last game. Aubameyang on the left, and I'd probably say Saka on the right, based on what I think Arteta thinks. But if it's up to me, I'm going Aubameyang through the middle. Right now, I think Saka deserves to play, so I'm playing him on the left-hand side. And I'd persist with Pepe a bit. I feel Pepe's been poor. He was better yesterday, and he was poor to a degree against City, but I don't think he, as much as I think he didn't seize his opportunity, you know, you can't really just give a man one chance, and I think Willian's been poor, but he's at least been afforded the luxury to start a couple games in a row to get that match fitness and all of those things. So that would be my front three at the moment, but it's down to Lacazette to complicate things, for Eddie to complicate things, for Saka to carry on doing this, for Martinelli when he comes fit, who I didn't even mention, you know. Is it Martinelli, Saka, and Aubameyang? You know, it's down to all of these players, you know, that we think of in these front three positions to complicate it. And again, give Arteta some mad headaches. Trust me, big up the IC3 midfielders, man. I think he's decent, man. I think he's decent. I did a video a couple months ago, or maybe even a year or so ago on him, man. I'd implore you to go find that reach. Cheeky plug. I think he suits our team. I think Lacazette plan B on the bench is decent, but if is he cool to accept being this rotation striker? You know, if we can move Lacazette on, I wouldn't want to do it with a heavy heart, but maybe it could be thingy. Big up Hamid, man. And that's it, you know. ICT is down to Nelson to complicate matters. It's down to complicate matters. I think he's injured at the moment. I could be wrong, but I said it earlier. I've been impressed with George Lewis. He played well against Ipswich. I like his pace. I like how he plays, man. You know, I think he'll be set for a good career. I don't necessarily know if I would say based on form he deserves it, but I said this in a previous vid. In terms of the Europa League, he's someone I'd probably look to have involved. You know, I think he's a decent player. So yeah, man. I wish we knew Vincent, man. It just seems like we're freestyling a bit, and we show little glimpses of playing that free flow and attacking football that some of the goals we've scored, in particular in the FA Cup, have shown people. Last time we played saucy football, to a degree, I think City at Wembley. You know, I know it was backs against the wall, all mans to the pump, but not too many times. Not too many times. Big up Zubiri, man. Forgive me for mispronunciations all the way from Trinidad. Big up the Trinidad people locked in. Do you think it's time to move Laka on and get another striker? I know he scored 3 and 3. It doesn't seem like the hunger is there. I think he's still hungry. I just think he's declining a bit. I just feel Lacazette, you know, he's not that striker we thought we was getting. In that, you know, if we, you know, would we have even bought Aubameyang if we was getting Lacazette? You know, if Lacazette was scoring 20 league goals, I don't think Aubameyang signs for this club, because we don't go for him. You know, he's got other qualities. You know, I like Lacazette. I think Plan B strikers are undervalued. Just having another striker that you can rotate is undervalued in the team. He is on playing big games. He does have some qualities. That being said, in terms of the contract, can we get someone who does what he does to a better standard but younger? It's a difficult decision, and I think it's one for Arteta. He seems to like him, but I don't think he favors anyone truly in that middle role, you know. And it's gonna be an interesting one, really, really and truly, because when you look at it again, I like that. I don't want to draw conclusions because I believe Arteta rotates his side a bit and uses everybody in different games. Like, you know, El Nene could very well not play in the next 2-3 games. We might play. Okay, it's not in the next 2-3 games, but we're playing United at Old Trafford. He then comes in. Arteta does all of that stuff a lot. But at the same time, I don't think Arteta is necessarily convinced with anyone through that middle. He knows Aubameyang's a gunman and a goal scorer in front of goal. You know, how many times has he played him through the middle? You know, Martinelli, someone we see as a striker long term, but I'm sure I think Arteta has said that as well, but I think Arteta has also spoken about him on the wings, and so has Martinelli. You know, he's played Willian as a false nine. You know, Lacazette started some games, equally big games been left out. Same goes for Eddie. So it doesn't feel like nobody's quite sees that striking option. It doesn't quite seem like he believes wholeheartedly in our strikers, some might say. You know, on one hand, you could say he's rotating and he really believes in anyone, and he believes anyone at any given time can do a job. On the other hand, you could say with Willian false nine, with Lacazette playing through the middle and then not, with Eddie 1 minute and playing then not, with Aubameyang not been playing there, with what he's allegedly said about Martinelli, nobody's really sees that striking spot, and maybe that's a position Arsenal are looking at. Like for me, potentially, you know, I would look at potentially another winger. That's just me as a fan, but and I know we don't need one. Another striker. I'd pay attention to left back. You know, we've got Kieran Tierney, who is my first choice, and Saka can do a job, and Maitland-Niles. But can we move Kolasinac on and get someone like Tierney who is competent and consistent? You know, right back. Is Maitland-Niles going to make that his own? Is that a year we're going to see Bellerin lock it down? Is it Cedric Suarez going to prove people wrong? Because there's 3 man. One man ain't not. There's not been one man that's really claimed that goal, that right back spot. Apologies. And then, you know, we haven't had consistencies there. That's why we're very left-hand centric as well as other things. You know, we've had consistency at left back. Tierney is there 9 times out of 10. Or Saka's been an ever-present fixture, as has Aubameyang on that side. Xhaka obviously peels to that side. You know, if Pepe had a consistent right back, we might see a better Pepe. But as you lot know, you know, it's different. That's no excuse. But 1 minute it's Bellerin, then it's a back 3. You know, that's Maitland, and then Maitland's on the left, and then you got Cedric, who might not play for the next 10 games. So, you know, it's an interesting one. But Lacaz's form will be what decides it, my guy. And it's simply that. It's Lacaz's form. Lacaz's form will decide it. You know, Lacazette plays well. There's talk of a new contract. He doesn't. We've dodged a bullet, if you understand what I'm saying, my guy. So that's that in that regards. But we're gonna have to see, man. We're gonna really have to see. Let me just clip that up. Let's get some. Let me see what you lot are saying. I've been here way longer than I thought. People's 3:30. I tried to cut out. I don't think he's killing them. They have to be ready, and I believe in him. You know, if he was killing them, you know, what does that mean for Bukayo Saka playing week in, week out? You got to earn your spot, man. I want to see us play 4-3-3 without a doubt. Bellerin is not. I mean, Bentner is not an Arsenal legend. He was shit. He's funny for the jokes and that, but he was shit. Don't know, my guy. Baller, he did his thing at Peterborough, whatever, and he's carried on, you know, and doing his thing for Brentford. You know, you get down your roots, you score some goals, you might get that move. Was he not at Newcastle? And before that, I believe Northampton. I could be wrong. Let me type that in. No, 24 years of age. I'm sure he was at Northampton. Yeah, he was at Northampton. Then he went Newcastle. He's actually played for Newcastle as well. He went a couple of loan spells at Barnsley. He's been at Shrewsbury Town. He's been at Scunthorpe. He's been at Wigan. He went back to Scunthorpe on loan. He went Peterborough, where he really settled down. And he's been a good addition to Brentford. And you can imagine Brentford are going to make good profit. 24 years of age, you know, potentially turning 26 soon. You know, he's going to have a good career. And I think he's someone that will end up scoring goals and whatnot. Let me write that down so I can click this up and speak about him. But I think even Tony's a good player. Hopefully, I'm saying his name correctly. But yeah, man, I think he's going to be a decent player. You keep scoring goals, you could thingy move on. What? I want to engage more in your videos when you talk about our youth matches, but I never know where to watch them online. Boy, I can't help you, my guy. If you know, you know, man. I don't know how to watch them either. All I will say is tricks of the trade. Typically, when whatever team Arsenal's playing against, 9 times out of 10, depending on where you look, there's a live stream there. Or depending on where you look on YouTube, someone might upload the games. Beyond that, Eric, can't help you, brother. It's that simple, man. Sorry, bro. Imagine your best mate who isn't as good as you in the team is. Sorry, imagine your best mate who isn't as good as you in the team. It's going to make you feel a bit mad when he's starting. Worst thing about football and what I had to learn, football's about opinions. You have to, it is what it is. It really is what it is. You've got to deal with opinions. Like, you've got to deal with opinions. You've just got to suck it up. You've just got to continue. Nice to meet you. I support Sunderland. Big up the Sunderland fans, man. How is your amateur side doing? We've got a cup match. We've got a cup match now. We've got a cup match on Sunday. We've done all right. We've gone on a bit of a winning run. We're doing all right. We just long may it continue. Our keeper is out for Sunday, so it's going to be mans to the pump. We've got our second choice keeper who's quite shit, but we'll try a thing, man. We'll try a thing. We'll see what we can do. Big up yourself, Reeks, man. Big up yourself, please. Just get a vote in. It doesn't cost anything. Get this one done. Greetings from Indonesia. Big up yourself. It means a lot, my tugs in Indonesia. Big up everybody internationally based. Still waiting for it to be processed and whatnot. Like, I've sent my verification. They asked for my driver's license, so it should be coming. The quicker I get that, quicker I can buy my new laptop and a camera. Right now, I'm using my brethren's laptop still. That'll be the first thing we're doing. And once again, big up everyone who donated to allow me to better myself with that. You lot came clutch at a time of need for that guy, man. It was a bit of peak then, man. What else we got? That's it. We thought we was getting that 20 league goal, man. We didn't. If Lacazette scored them goals, I don't think Aubameyang would be here. And that's not me getting at anybody or whatever, man. I think we'd have more balance if we just put players in their right positions and just get some consistency with just playing the same team and not putting square pegs in round holes, personally. You're referring to Aaron Hickney. Very good player. Very decent little player. Love for the £2. Do I remember Fran Merida? Of course, he didn't live up to his potential, but it is what it is. Big up Victor, Don't be paying £15 to watch Leicester, people. If you're gonna pay 15 quid, donate that 15 quid to charity and watch it on the stream thing. I wish, man. Trials, Spurs and whatnot, but not further than that. Bag of people lying to me about QPR, about Millwall, about this and that and the other, but it is what it is. I see your comment, but you're snitching, man. You're moving a bit mad. You're a good man, genuine, great when you Rants and Matisse clash heads. Come on, man, it makes for good content. Big up Rants and big up Matisse. Make sure I can't imagine you're not subscribed to Rants, but go and subscribe to him. And Matisse has started his own YouTube channel. Go and show him some love. Obviously, he's a Chelsea fan. Go and look at all the stuff from a Chelsea perspective. Would you have swapped anyone in the PL squad for Ozil? Difficult one, because I actually don't know who's been named. I feel, and then maybe if El Nene weren't there, Ozil would join, but El Nene's backed his decision. Mustafi, I'm sure Mustafi counts as homegrown. I'd probably say Kolasinac. I would have ruled out Kolasinac because he's someone I would have tried to really move on. But at the same time, is there any other left backs in the squad? Out and out left backs. He is the only other out and out left back. I'm not talking Saka doing a job, Maitland doing a job, or somebody else out and out left back. So I understand it, but probably him. How's the top four looking based on what you've seen? Too early. I don't really feel anybody looks like the front runners per se. Spurs have looked good in an attacking sense, shaky defensively. We've improved defensively. The errors are still there. Liverpool are with these injuries, I still think they'll be there. I'd say City and Liverpool, regardless, they'll still be up there. I think if Chelsea hit it right, Chelsea will be up there. But again, it's ifs and buts. They're not assurances. I think Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal will be fighting for top four. You can't rule out Man United because, Ollie's next on the line. He's back to winning. They got top four last year. So I think the only assurances are Liverpool and City, down to the other teams to show what they're on. Big up Sunderland for doing that, Joseph. Big up Sunderland, man. Trust me, I see a lot of people had issues with it, Sam, man. It really took a beating to my pride to ask for that, my guy, man, because it really would have hurt me financially to do it. Like, I could have done it, but, we'd be eating some dead things for a while. We'd really have to really spam you lot with ads and whatnot. So it's nice to know I don't ask you lot for much, so you lot came in, man. It means a lot, man. It means a lot. Yeah, see, trust me, man. If you know, you know. Come on, man. People try to kick down my door and them thing there like that, man. Already covered that, my guy, but he made a mistake. He has to hold his hands up. Simple as, simple as. Love your work rate, Deluded. Work will pay off, inshallah. Trust me, inshallah, my guy Ems. Hopefully, man. It's about, I guess it's about working smart now, because the hard work is there. It's about what can I do to move me closer to the thing. Guess what it is, man. Of course I'm frustrated. Any Arsenal player, definitely an Arsenal fan like me that at one point in my life only knew Arsene Wenger and was accustomed to the I don't know why, but people always talk about the invincible being pace and power. They forget the effing play. Vieira, Perez, Omri, and the rest of them used to do their thing, you know. And then obviously Emirates era, we haven't been the best in terms of trophies, but we've been bopping it, you know, and now that's gone. I guess you meant when you're linking up with Daps, bro. I see his comment, but it's gone. I tried to find it. Big up Daps, man. When he's ready to come to you on my show, we do this thing, man. Simple as. Simple as. Big up Daps, man. I got time for him still. Last question, people, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I've been here for 34 minutes longer than I thought. Come on, people, man. Big up yourself, man. He's working his way back from injury. You know, his injury disrupted his pre-season, and based on the game I saw for the under-23s against City, I mean United, he played well, but he's not fully fit. So I can understand him not being right involved. You know, that injury disrupted his pre-season, but he would be a fantastic someone to try and give an opportunity in the 10 position. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about trying to fix things in-house. Get fit, prove what you're on in training. Arteta will give you a chance if you remain patient. Final question. Wonder Joe said, "What's your thoughts on El Clasico next week? Who will win?" Can't lie, I thought it was this week. I must be moving mad and too excited. Difficult, man, because Barca look poor, as do Real Madrid. I'm gonna go with Barcelona because I would like Barcelona to win, so I'm gonna go with Barca. But I can't lie, people. We've been here for an hour and 35 minutes, no cap. But I'm extremely hungry. It's over here in the UK, it's 3:36. I've still got some videos to bring up for you guys. So yeah, there'll be more content. So check out the content that's already there if you haven't, you know. Thank you for this stream. If you've cut too late, please stay on it and just scroll back and whatnot. If you can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, I've got some more content to upload, the preview for Leicester, the Q&A and whatnot. That you guys all always ask your questions. The editing is poor. You know, I've done a poor job with the green screen, so I apologize in advance. Couple other little bits and pieces for you lot, man. Tomorrow, I'm not trying to make no videos and whatnot, so I'll just be living off what's there already. But is what it is, man. Is what it is. I hope you have a great day. I hope you've all enjoyed us being here for a moment. We've been doing our thing, people. Peace, man. Yeah, that's what I thought, Daniel, man. I thought it was tomorrow. So big up yourself for correcting me. I would have not factored in El Clasico. I proper thought it was yesterday. So I got confused. But like I said, man, people, I'm out. Stay safe. Big up to everybody that's locked in so far. I hope you all thingy as well. Please hit the like button. I don't want to leave you lot hanging. Any Arsenal versus Leicester predictions? Let's say 2-1 Arsenal. But in theory, no clue, man. No clue. But big up everyone, man. Mohammed, I can't leave you hanging, my guy. I want to get out of it, but you've asked me a question and it's come up. Aubameyang at the middle front, Willian as a left wing, Pepe as a right wing, Obama backing, Ozil backing Oba as a cam. Can my dreams come true? Well, in terms of practicality, it's 100% feasible. With what's going on with Ozil, probably have to forget that one, my guy, Mohammed, man. But it is what it is. Done, no, man. I'm loving it, man. Come on. Sorry, man. You lot make me feel guilty for busting out, people. Like, you lot make me not want to leave now. You lot make me not want to leave, man. We've got Tim acting like a teenage virgin, so you're going to get a block. But other than that, it's been a fantastic stream. Everybody's been calm. It's been enjoyable. I've seen a lot of different opinions and a lot that's given me food for thought. You know, this has been a very enjoyable stream and a lot of you have tuned in, so it means a lot. You know, it was so good. I was 37 minutes longer than I thought. You know, I didn't even pay attention to the time when I was here waffling away. But love, people. Check out the other content. There ain't going to be no... stream over this weekend because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it over thingy. I'm not gonna do it over I'm not gonna do it over no Buki stream. It's gonna be dead. But we're gonna do what we need to do. We're gonna keep working hard. We're gonna keep coming with content. You know, you can't get rid of me. I'm like a bad smell. You can't get rid of me. You know, it's like an Arsene Wenger thing. Arsene Wenger didn't leave Arsenal for time. I'm staying it. But yeah, you lot are saying some lovely stuff, man. Thank you very much, man. You lot proper make me on this day. I gotta be more ruthless, bro. Come on. Remember to like. Come on. I see. You got to reveal yourself, because if you say we live near each other and you said something pretty accurate, you're walking past, man. I don't even know. Don't be a stranger. Hit me up on a private thing. Again, Don't bait out what we're doing, but come on, man. Love people, man. I'm gonna get out of here for real though, man. Stay safe, whatever you're doing, man. DG, I'm out, man. Big up yourself as well. Go to the beginning and take it in, car. We've spoken about a lot. I'm out, though. I'm out.